lives inside me tell me to let go. The shadow will always hang over me.
Alright guys, let's do this. First things first, Senua Saga Hellblade 2 was not only the most anticipated Norse mythology inspired game on the horizon, but also the single biggest Microsoft exclusive game as of years ago. We got another trailer recently for the gameplay, but unfortunately not a release date specific one. That being said, Senua Saga Hellblade 2 is looking better than ever this time. The action's out of the world, and it's got the atmosphere of at least a blockbuster movie and more. Check it out, make sure to stay tuned for a precise release date in the coming days.
What will I become?
Announced last time, almost half a year ago, in case you missed it, Legend of Ymir is now no longer in just a tech demo, but in full development for PCs, possibly next generation of consoles as well, and due out within Moving on to number 3, possibly the most fun and casual game to look forward to in the coming days, we've got here, of course, Viking Simulator Valhall Awaits. It's a first-person medieval survival open-world sandbox game that is actually the new work of the same folks who came up with the famous House Flipper games, the Thief Simulator, Bomb Simulator, you name it. It basically combines elements of RPGs, survival, simulation games, and even strategies. Just check it out. The game's coming to PCs only soon, we hear. Almost a whole year in the making, last year we did come across something called Blight Survival, which is a project I've only had heard rumors about to be a co-op action horror roguelite set in this alternative 14th century about some war between two rival cities and some deadly disease that actually turns people into a thing like a zombie. Check it out, this one's coming to PCs only, no longer within 2023 of course, but in mid-2024. We just got a new trailer for it.
You daddy grinder.
Get off him. What, you think he's got blight? Sometimes it's harder to spot, yeah? Gets in your veins first. Clogs up your brain. You're infected before you know it. He's dead. Poor bastard reeks. Probably dead for days. You're new to this. It only gets worse after they're dead. Makes you almost sorry for him. My ass doesn't feel too sorry. Keep looking.
Quick mention over here in case you missed it. Last August we finally received some gameplay on the Obsidian Entertainment's new open world Skyrim inspired RPG y'all know going by the name of Avowed, and that is now coming to PCs, Xbox, acting as a Microsoft exclusive in the second quarter of 2024. I mean, one close look at this thing, you can see the resemblance of both Skyrim and the Outer Worlds from Obsidian. One might suspect that the goal with Avowed is to hit even new horizons.
You want us to trust you. But the truth is, you scare us. The way you fight. The power you wield. The secrets you keep. You're either here to save us or destroy us. So now that you have all this power, what are you gonna do with it?
Remember the rage of the sea.
Coming our way roughly a few months ago, one of the lesser mentioned survival games on the horizon, in fact the most unrated, technically speaking, we've got here AXA, coming from the same developers of Black, which mainly action platform games, but this time around this is a open world action RPG survival and a crafting game based on the Vikings era and the strategy tactics. Here's some in-game footage. AXA's on its way to PCs only sometime later this year.
And when the dead winter comes, remember those who never sleep.
There is no victory to be had here. There is only survival.
Primarily a VR game from a few months ago, we've got here a brand new one in the title, though previously it was just Behemoth. Now it's retitled to Skydance's Behemoth by the same developers of the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, some of you might know. Anyway, Behemoth is touted as a single-player story-driven RPG that forces you to fight these giants called behemoths, like Shadow of the Colossus, although its backdrop setting is the Norse mythology instead of the Japanese myth. Anyway, the game is coming to PCs, PSVR 1 and 2, PCVR as well.
Take your mind. I have found no meaning to this struggle. But when the end comes for you, do not yield.
Ég hef búið á eyjunni ævilangt. Hér kynntist ég bæði fegurð og grimmd.
Been in development for almost 3 years now at number 8. We've got here once again Island of Winds. Coming as its developer's first work, the game is an adventure mainly set in a fantasy setting inspired by the 17th century Iceland and inspired by its nature, folklore and history, wherein, as you can see, you play as a shaman-like, kind of like Senua, warrior, pursuing the abduction of a mentor and fighting off the evil. You know the drill. This game is coming to PCs in the PlayStation 5 only sometime later this year.
Myrkur ristir láð og lög og raskar heimsins ró. Eigi má sköpum renna.
Moving on, we have Viking City Builder. Basically, a classical city building game with elements of a real-time strategy, sparkle on top, as stated by developers, a strategy game with a hefty amount of focus on graphics, like literally the first strategy game that uses ray tracing when it comes to core gameplay. Check it out, the game's available through a demo on Steam right now and set to be coming out early to mid 2024.
Such as you. I name you Chainbreaker, child of the wolf.
Moving on to number 10, we've got here finally Song of Iron 2, with a release window of 2024, mid to late, coming to PCs and Xbox consoles only. If you were new to the project over here, it's a hack and slash to the platform with semi-souls, one of the best of its own kind of like the mobile game Grim Veiler, and pretty much a mix of old the Shank game, you all know, and a little bit of Diablo. Here's a trailer. The game is actually much more advanced in visuals compared to the first one. There's a longer campaign apparently and more action. Coming up behind that, we have, I believe, the first time, if not the second time we're mentioning it over here, a turn-based and Available on Steam through Early Access for over 3 years now. At number 12, in case you missed it, we have Valhall Pawbringer, which has been on Indiegogo since like 2017 and has been one of the biggest scams on Steam. But for some reason I still believe these developers are somehow fixing it and delivering a finished game soon. I mean, there's rumors, but to almost no avail. Anyway, not for nothing, this game does have quite the potential. Available through a demo on Steam once again, and last but not least, we have Viking Survivors, technically an action roguelite that pits you against mythological and biblical beasts. It's a pixel art game where you fight, win, level up, and just get more skills as you go. It's quite a bit inspired by both Bad North and Enter the Gungeon, except it's got all the qualities of a mobile game. Check it out, Gamescom on PCs rather soon.